1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Good morning, Lompoc.
Good morning, Lompoc.
Good morning, Lompoc. Welcome, everyone, all of our new viewers and listeners, people from within the city of Lompoc and all over the country and some other places in the world. Very excited to have you for our 4th episode. This is our 2nd week, so thank you all for your patience and your excitement and joy in getting this project off the ground. We're so excited for today's show. Lots of fun things to show you guys. If you can, just so that we make sure that everyone can hear and see us okay, if there are any issues on your side, if you can't hear us or we need to change the sound levels or anything like that, or we just disappear, please text us or send us a quick message so we can make adjustments on our end.
Yes,
right.
I have to admit that on Friday, I've never been so thankful that this is actually my real voice, because I've always had a high-pitched voice and I've hated it, and now I know
if we sound like chipmunks, let us know.
It could be so much worse.
Definitely.
And you got a taste of that on Friday, so...
Yeah, if you missed our 3rd episode, that was Friday's episode, we forgot to hit a specific button, so the whole episode we sounded like chipmunks, which a few people thought sounded great, so thanks, guys.
And my mom and sister thought that I sounded normal, so there's that. I want to thank Kim White for letting her for having her kids audition for our opener. They were so cute.
If you guys want to be a part of that, you need to do the same thing. Film your kids or your family saying "Good Morning Lompoc" and send it our way, and might just get it on the show.
So a big thank you to Haley, Hannah, and Hunter for saying "Good Morning Lompoc." I could play that over and over again. Seriously.
Awesome. All right, we have a fun show. Michelle, where are we going with this?
So what do we do this weekend?
I feel like we were a little all over the place. We're staying obviously very close to home and very sequestered, but we did get outside and enjoyed some of the warming weather, which was great. And this weekend there was a little chalk event that Michelle can tell you a little bit about.
Well, kind of a chalk event. It was just trying to encourage everybody to just get outside, and it was a nice weekend, so make your streets beautiful. So there was a lot of really cool drawings out there, so I want to just show a few of those. Well, first of all, we've got Haley, who we saw earlier with her awesome chalk drawing, and the one on the right is from Kim, which I just thought was really creative.
Adding some 3 dimensions there. Nice work.
And then these are the twins, Hannah and Hunter.
A couple of show-offs right there.
And then Tiffany, Todd, their kids got out this weekend and colored up the street, so be kind and be safe.
Nice. Words of comfort.
And then we saw Carissa last Friday. She introduced this idea. So this was her drawing, and she had a really awesome tip if you wanted to preserve your chalk drawing a little bit longer, you can add a little hairspray to it, and apparently it stays. Wow. Yeah, so I'm going to have to try that in the future too. So, and this was just awesome. This house.
Check this out.
Oh my God, it was so colorful.
Loving Lompoc.
Just love it.
That's pretty cool.
I need to go find it and like hopscotch on there. So
yeah, they kind of topped us on that. Although yours is pretty cool. So if I may, so Michelle, who is an amazing artist, don't take my word for it, just look at the results. I can't draw a stick figure to save my life. I can take photos, can do all that stuff, but drawing is not my forte. Michelle, this was a great opportunity. She grabbed some chalk and found something she'd like to draw, and went outside and did it. So I made a little video just for fun so you guys can enjoy her participation in Lompoc chalks.
And I did get an awesome big box of chalk at Walmart because Southside had already run out.
Which is great news because people were getting involved and grabbing their chalk and participating.
But I have a pretty sweet big chalk box. That was it.
Little Wizard of Oz
Not that
artwork
exciting.
for you. Oh, it's pretty cool. Again, my stick figure.
I had big goals to make it much bigger, and then realized that was going to take way
Well, I think
too long.
we realized that we were going to do the whole sidewalk with the yellow bricks, but then the artwork that that you chose. If we'd have done it that way, it would have looked like the 4 of them had face planted on the yellow bricks. So we made the adjustment.
Yeah,
I didn't do anything. I just took pictures.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. I think we'll have to do that more often, and you'll have to participate a little bit and help out.
Yeah,
carry your weight.
I know. I'll work on that.
And then I had dreams that night that somebody had come and like scuffed it up and like.
She went outside the next morning to check just to see if anyone had vandalized her artwork, but it was fine. So anyway, so this also this weekend there was the Route 1 Farmers Market, which opened back up, and that was actually yesterday. And they all practiced social distancing, but it's a great opportunity to bring some folks together to grab your food and veggies and do something good for the community. So you had a couple notes. And
Shelby sent us a cool little video of all these.
Thank you, Shelby.
People had donated a bunch of veggies at the end, or donated money so that the food could get donated to the veggie rescue. So
this is what Lompoc does best.
All of this food right now is getting picked up by a veggie rescue and donated to the Bridge House in Lompoc. It's all staying local. A lot of it was donated by Red Barn Farms and Julia's Juices, and much of it was purchased with your donations, and we can't thank you guys enough. Stay safe out there and eat your greens. We love you guys.
That's awesome.
Pretty awesome. So Route 1 Farmers Market's out in Vandenberg Village on Sundays from 10 to 2. It's in the parking lot, I think,
at the bank.
Yeah, the bank that's there. So,
and it's really spread out, and so
yeah.
Check them out, support them. We got to keep our local farmers in business. They're still growing food for us. So.
Shout out to Dare to Dream, who's always there, growing some amazing veggies. It's nice to know where our food comes from. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, but I did think that it was kind of a crazy weekend. Michelle Hodap, her brother, he's out in Texas, and
For those of you that don't know Michelle Hodap, she's an awesome lady. She's actually on the board at the Chamber of Commerce with me. She owns a temporary service agency helping people find employment, which is really important during these tough times. Anyway, she's got a great sense of humor, and we learned that her brother in Texas also has a great sense of humor. So it's just a tip for you guys. Enjoy.
This corona stuff is out of hand. This guy just came down my street, said if I spanked his he would give me a pack of toilet paper. He ran off that way.
I love that.
Hope you guys had as much fun with that. Thank you, Michelle, for sharing your brother's words of wisdom. I won't be trying that anytime soon, but it is helpful for hopefully someone out there.
Yeah, well, it depends on if our inventory gets low. So we might be there on the street, and if you want to walk by and you have some toilet paper, we might be willing to
just be ready for us to bleep one of us out.
Do some favors or something. Well, not that.
Oh no. Let's keep moving on the show here.
So it's supposed to be really warm this week, which I'm so thankful for.
It's
been raining a lot.
We've been watching the temperature and watch it get to 64, 66, and it's almost there, but the shorts are still, just in hibernation. So maybe this week might be a chance
for you, though, because I don't want to see
warm.
this.
Well, I'll cover them up for you. Anyway, so the weather's supposed to get nice and warm outside this week. So if you get a chance, it could be nice to do something different. But you might want to be refreshed and practice maybe a recipe for summer.
Yeah. So I was looking at different recipe ideas, and I found the recipe for banana paletas. And then I tried it out and played with it a little bit and decided to change it up. So if you wanted to try this weekend, you could really make these your own, and it was just kind of a fun little recipe idea that I wanted to show you. We're going to do banana paletas, and we're going to dip them in chocolate and then roll them in a little bit of toasted coconut and almonds. I'm using a combination of flax milk and heavy cream, overripe bananas, cinnamon, vanilla, and agave syrup only if needed. Peel your bananas. I'm using 3 overripe bananas, half a cup of heavy cream, half a cup of unsweetened flax milk, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1/8 of a teaspoon of cinnamon. Blend that together and taste, and decide if you want to add any agave sweetener or other flavorings. I decided to add a little agave and a couple cracks of kosher sea salt, which made it a little bit more savory. Taste it again. If it's ready, go ahead and pour it into your molds, leaving just a little room at the top. Pop these in the freezer for about 6 hours or overnight.
Get your semi-sweet chocolate. I'm using a cup of chocolate chips. Heat those in a double boiler or a shallow pot of boiling water. Taking care of your hands, gently melt the chocolate, and I add a tablespoon of coconut oil just to give it a silkier texture, which makes it more dippable. Once your chocolate's done, transfer to a jar and let it cool. You don't want the chocolate to be too hot, otherwise it will melt the paleta. In the meantime, get your toppings. I have toasted almonds and toasted coconut. Remove your paletas from the freezer and rinse under warm water to remove the sleeve. Dunk in your chocolate sauce and then dip in your toppings. It'll set rather quickly. Once done, place them on a parchment sheet and prepare for the freezer or for eating.
So those were actually seriously good. That was the first time I'd ever made anything like that.
Paletas.
And they were delicious. But
Yes.
the recipe I found didn't have any salt or anything like that. And the salt is key.
You know, you've heard of
you've seen
salted caramel
yeah,
and things
exactly.
like that. So just take the recipe with a grain of salt
You're so twisted.
and be willing to adjust it. Always be tasting your recipes, no matter what it is. If you can taste it throughout the process, you can always make adjustments to dial it in just perfectly.
Yeah.
I'll be tempted to be eating several of these. So as a result of having all of those calories, I should consider staying in shape or exercising. Do we have some notes?
Yeah.
on
Right
that?
now we have to stay inside. So, in a way, it's a great time to work on your beach body, and even if we don't get out this summer, there's Instagram and
I like
selfies.
to keep my beach body locked up, personally.
Yeah. So, you could totally paint on abs, but if you wanted your abs to be a little bit more legit,
Airbrush art or something.
Darren Savella from CrossFit Ohana is going to show us how to get a
Thank you,
beach
Darren.
body abs.
Hey, good morning, Lompoc. Darren Savella here with CrossFit Ohana. I just wanted to go over a couple exercises you guys could do at home. First one will be some core activation. If you have wood floors or tile floors, you guys can use a rag, towel. I'm gonna use some laundry that needs to be done. I'll show you what that looks like. Start off in your hollow position or your plank position, rib cage. Try to draw that down. We're gonna go straight legs. Try to get those feet close to the hands. We'll draw them up, back on down, stay neutral. Try not to go beyond neutral. Cool. Next one, we're gonna go some modified dips. So we just got done going through Taylor's room. She brought some books out that she wants to take out of her room, so I stacked them up. So they're gonna be from the ground. We're gonna go straight arm, pressing through the books into the ground, get my body to come off of the ground. It's a modified version. Obviously you can make the stack higher to make it a little bit harder. I dropped some change. Also, if you have a bench or a chair, do that same thing. Straight legs are always harder. Bent knees, feet on the ground, a little bit easier. Cool, try those out. Hope you guys are staying healthy and well, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Darren.
Yes, thank you so much, Darren.
Maybe he could just donate some abs to us.
I'm going to try that one before I have the paletas. Just to so maybe I can have two.
Yeah,
of them, so.
seriously.
Thank you, Darren.
Yeah.
Again, CrossFit Ohana. Once everything gets back to normal, if you're looking for a great place to stay in shape, get in shape, or just have fun with a great little community, CrossFit Ohana is the place for sure. All right. Well, I had the chance to jump in with trying to help out with suggestions and instructions on how we can avoid risk and be cautious. So I found a video online that taught me how to work with a mask, and I found it pretty awesome. So I put something together, and I'm really excited to show Michelle, who hasn't seen this yet. So maybe she saw it, but anyway, this is a fascinating way to avoid risk. You guys might consider. Please enjoy this video. So in these challenging times, Michelle and I have been looking for different ways to try to stay cautious and avoid some risk. And I found some inspiration on another lady's YouTube. And so I'm going to try this, and then I'm going to show Michelle later. I think she'll think it's probably a genius idea. And it has to do with wearing a mask. And this is, anyway, I think it's brilliant. So here, I'm sorry if I'm talking so fast, very passionate about this. Here's how we do it. We start with a pair of boxer briefs. These are male boxer briefs. What size are these? Never mind. Anyway, just let me show you how to do it. Male boxer briefs, and they're a little bit stretchy. right? So what we'll do is not the first hole, or is it? Not the first hole, not that one, but the next one. We'll do like this right over the nose. And then as an option, so there we have our mask. Brilliant, I know. But as another option, depending on, say you're in a place and someone might be too close to you and they accidentally sneeze or cough, you have this extra protective layer, which we'll do just about that. So anything behind you, you've now added 2 layers of protection. And also when you're outside, if you need a little shade, you can continue. Anyway, I'm excited to show Michelle, and if you need the instructions to this, just play the video over and over and over and over.
No. First of all, you should have mentioned that they need to be clean or
Those were
brand new.
Those were clean. I'm almost positive those were perfectly clean.
Oh man.
So what did you think?
If you're going to do that, don't wear white ones on your face.
Yeah,
Because
yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything else that we should or need to say about that.
Oh, except for the fact that we are not liable if you decide to do this and anything happens.
This is
and
just
you
a
get
suggestion.
sick. This was not for real, so don't try this at home.
Might work for some, might not work for
we
others.
We take no liability. We have no insurance for this. So anyways, moving on.
So anyway, thanks for humoring me with that.
Thank you for the idea, though.
Well, I try to help.
Because we don't want to use masks, obviously, that healthcare workers need. So trying to find ways to get creative. So, yeah.
Thanks again to all of our local first responders and the folks working at the hospital, our medical folks dealing with these trying times right now. If you know someone that's in that field, just remember to say hello and reach out and say thank you for all their hard work. So.
That was a good dad joke. It looks like an assassin's
Hey, we learned how to put comments on the screen too,
Yes.
so we really appreciate when you guys
we have a little bit of a delay when
get
we
in there
it.
and add some humor and become a partner in our little show here. So thanks for sending comments and all your feedback.
Yeah.
All the love.
So speaking of partners, we mentioned the guys of Transcendence on Friday. So Joey and Sarah, they do a TGIF every Friday. Unfortunately, not right now.
I miss it so bad. Every Friday, they would pack the place.
They
every
did.
Friday night, that was the place to be. At least down there in the wine ghetto area, they would just be packed. And we just started going a couple, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago for the first time, and we're just overwhelmed by the turnout.
The first time.
Well, I mean, we've been a couple times, but they have such a die-hard following of loyal supporters. So anyway, they do a lot of great things here in Lompoc, and they are 100% community. So we're excited.
And they'll be joining us for a happy hour on Friday.
Our second happy hour.
We're going to do Skype with them at the same time so that they can tell us some of their funny stories. They're way funnier than either of us.
Well,
definitely funnier than you.
Funnier than me, but
yeah,
you're
for sure.
Funny.
So they'll be joining us for happy hour, and we'll be tasting through their wines. So they have their TGIF special of the La Encantada Chardonnay and the La Pareja, which is the Grenache Syrah blend. So if you'd like to taste along with us or tell us what you're cooking that day, please join us. So we've got a little video from them.
Yeah, just a little conversation.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
People ask us what transcendence means. Like, are we into yoga or something?
And yes, I love yoga.
We do love yoga, and we love to do yoga together. We like yoga, but transcendence is really a triangulation, and so it's a concept of transcendence defined means to go above and beyond, which is what we do every day, every day. The logo of it, which is the triangle, is sort of the dichotomy of what happens, like you and me and a bottle of wine, or grapes and the vintage and, the harvest. And we never thought we'd have to include pandemic in that, but certainly life does happen over a bottle of wine.
And maybe we should adjust it to life happens over 2 bottles of wine.
Maybe rack your brain about some of the positives, silver linings, the community that you guys have built with Transcendence and the family that you have.
Honestly, if I didn't have that right now, I'd be really depressed. Really, I mean, I'm so encouraged. Every time I pop online, somebody is posting something about a business. They're sharing business stories. They're promoting businesses. They're encouraging people. They're offering help. We live in a community where there's a lot of elderly people. We're all looking out for them. People are connected, and and in solidarity on this. And, you know, as much as whatever you think about the virus or politics or whatever, people don't want to hurt each other. And I'm inspired by it every day.
You know, being more upfront on the winemaking side with the brethren and sisters that are in the wine industry that are winemakers, you know, obviously this is very impactful and kind of weighing on a lot of them. Talk about that side of things.
It's been really scary for myself and my colleagues because it's bottling season. You know, we're trying to get all these wines in bottle and get it ready. And, you know, we're very cautious about exposure because nobody wants to get anyone sick. But bottling requires a high level, you know, a large crew to get together. Sure. A lot of these things, it's really critical on timing. And so it's, from a production standpoint, it's been really stressful. Is, you know, are things going to get done? And if they don't get done now and you push it back, there's only, you know, we operate around seasonal, you know, a calendar. Harvest is already starting. Bud break is, you know, well out. And, you know, it's a matter of time. So it is pretty stressful for us in production because, you know, work still has to go on. And that's the, you know, there's kind of two sides to the business. You got to make the wine and you got to sell the wine. And it's, you know, obviously everyone is impacted on every level in their business.
Hopefully with this newer form of communication, people can be, you know, since they're not really going anywhere and worried about driving, they'll have more time to taste through different Transcendence productions.
You know, if I can just speak to the silver lining of COVID-19 is the connectedness. I mean, the whole world is connected right now on this effort. And I kind of feel like it's our collective unconscious yearning to be together. Sure. And we're really experiencing that on so many different levels. And so you know, for all of the tragedies that are happening with people's lives and also just business tragedies and personal tragedies and, you know, retirement tragedies, the connectedness, I think, is really the silver lining.
I know exactly what you're saying in that there was that little period of time after 9/11 where we forgot about all the other little things and petty differences and such, and it was very connected, but in a national sense. And I feel that same thing in that more global, like, oh man, this is going to leave a mark kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is there anything you guys might consider, either of you can take this, but it's not just you two, you guys have a family of kids, you guys live here, there's the big picture. Is there anything from your family to everyone else out there that may see this in many contexts that you guys just want to communicate? I
do love what I do. You know, it's a gift.
You do have a gift.
I make wine. Well, no, I don't mean like I'm a gifted winemaker.
No, you are the gift.
I get to make wine for a living. I love it. And I wouldn't.
You're a gift.
I wouldn't be able to do that without the support and without the love. And we feel that. And we certainly, in this time, like I've taken lots of phone calls this week. Sarah's taken lots of phone calls this week. Thank you for keeping us alive.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome.
Thank you, Joey and Sarah. You guys are really cool. Someday when we grow up, we hope to be just like you guys.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I hope Jeremy becomes a gift someday.
I'm working on becoming a gift. I'm going to try. So don't forget Transcendence Wines. They're here in the community. If you need some wine, they're actually helping out and delivering some wine if anyone needs. And once things get back to normal, they've got an awesome wine club, which gives all of their local members just incredible discounts and opportunities to taste all the new small production wines that are that Joey's making over there. So thank you guys again. We're so looking forward to having you guys with us live, hopefully on Friday afternoon for our second happy hour, which goes live at 5:30, about 5:30 to 6:30. We'll play some games, might have some local music.
Yep.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I think we're going to, definitely. We're going to be doing just some Skyping and maybe do like little trivia of like guess that place or something. So we'll figure it out. We'll have fun.
Definitely. All right.
I think that's kind of it. You had a couple things you wanted to mention.
Yeah. Just maybe you and I can go through just a quick wrap up of thank yous over the last week and a half.
I wanted to look at this.
So I want to thank everyone that's been a part of this show, but I specifically want to thank Michelle.
Oh, that's what that was about.
She didn't know this, but anyway, this is my quick tribute to her. If you get a chance, you can read what she wrote here. But
let's just go back to us.
If you're curious about that, I'll send it to you.
I can play it again.
Well, put it on. I'll talk over it.
All right, fine.
All right.
This is last minute, so kind of sorry for the
anyway,
background.
this is just the story of
I can do the little dance or
10 years
behind.
ago. Michelle, when we first crossed paths, I kind of ticked her off because I was a smart aleck. And the story goes on that about 2 months later, she asked me out, and 15 months later, we were married. It hasn't been perfect. It hasn't been a joyride the whole time. We built a business. We worked hard. We stressed. Every time I have a wild brain idea, Michelle rolls her eyes.
Help me.
But she figures out somehow how to organize and make it all work for us. So this show would not happen if it wasn't for the brilliance of my wife to keep me organized, to organize all of our thoughts, and to figure out how all this technology comes together so that we can get our message out. She's an amazing storyteller. I'm a huge fan, if you didn't know. And when you see her, just thank her because she's the reason this stuff is working and that you can see it. So thank you very much.
I didn't know you were going to go there. I feel like you always butter me up, like right about the time I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. And then you butter me up and then.
Well, we've been receiving a lot of buttering up from the community.
Yes,
and
you guys are so awesome.
That's meant a lot to us.
This has made us feel so good. We've really enjoyed getting a chance to do this and just a chance to keep busy, but also finding positive stories. So that's what this is supposed to be all about, is finding positive stories in the community and just kind of keeping our mind off things. I know things are tough and I feel like they keep getting scarier every day.
A lot of uncertainty.
We live in a really amazing place with wonderful people, and I think if we can continue to support each other as much as possible, to continue to stay indoors, stay away from other people,
stay home,
I think we'll get through this. And we're enjoying and getting a chance to connect with you and connect with our community in a different way. So
definitely. Well, I think we're getting down to the end here. This is our 4th episode. Thank you guys for hanging in there. Don't forget, please tell your friends, share it with your family. It doesn't matter if they live in Ohio. We're just trying to create a positive news story that brings attention to Lompoc about the good things that are happening.
We already said that.
I know. I like to repeat that.
Okay, let's just, I love this video, so I think we should wrap it up. So say bye.
We'll see you Wednesday morning, 8:30. Our next show, Wednesday morning, 8:30.
And
thank you.
We have one more message from Kim's adorable little kids. These guys are so cute.
1, 2, 3. Good morning.